Hello, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Anna Laurel. Here at CBS 8, we're working for you, getting to the bottom of problems you've asked about, and we're looking for solutions. We start with a proposal that looks to improve the mental health of children in California. Despite negative headlines and growing concerns about the impact of smartphones and social media on children, many teens are glued to their phones all day. Studies have found a direct connection between the use of smartphones and sharp increases in anxiety and depression. And incidents of self-harm and suicide rates among teens have more than doubled in recent years. Tonight, CBS 8's Shannon Handy is working for you and takes a look at a new bill making its way through the state legislature that would ban smartphones on public school campuses.
This bill applies to all public school campuses in California. Supporters say it's aimed at reducing the negative impact social media and smartphones have on teenagers and preteens.
It's well documented how much time young people spend on their smartphones. Assembly Bill 3216 aims to change that by restricting their use on public school campuses.
It goes hand in hand with local control initiatives, but does give schools that authority if that's the direction they want to go.
69th District Assembly member Josh Lowenthal is a co-author of the bill. The father of three says its main goal is to address the mental health crisis among our youth.
The levels of youth suicide, eating disorders, depression, anxiety are off the charts. And there's no doubt that there's a nexus between social media, smartphones.
Lowenthal cites studies showing just that. San Diego State professor of psychology, Dr. Jean Twiney, is mentioned in the bill for evidence she presented in books she's written about kids and smartphones.
Facebook's own research found that Instagram, for example, is linked to body image issues, particularly among teen girls and young women. And there's cyberbullying, there's inappropriate content, there's the algorithms which keep people scrolling and the push notifications which keep bringing them back.
Which is why she says prohibiting kids access to smartphones during the school day is a good idea, allowing them to focus more on other things.
That would carve out 6.5 hours a day when kids and teens didn't have access to their phones. It would cut down a lot of the drama that happens during social media. They would focus better in class. Teachers wouldn't have to police students taking their phones out.
The bill does have exceptions to when students can use their phones. For example, during an emergency, if a teacher or administrator allows it, or to help with individualized educational programs. Last week, AB 3216 passed the Assembly. It now heads to the Senate, and if approved and the governor signs it, could become law by 2025. Another similar bill is also making its way through the state Senate right now, further highlighting the push for change.
The data is what it is. So we need to listen to it, pay attention to it, and make smart choices on behalf of our youth.
Shannon Handy, CBS 8.
All right, Shannon, thank you. Tonight, there's pushback on a county plan to buy land in Vista to build a mental health and rehabilitation facility. The county is looking to buy more than 100 acres at Green Oak Ranch for the future behavioral health hub. CBS 8's Jasmine Ramirez is working for you and shows us the proposal and why people who live near the ranch are worried about it.
Tonight we heard from people in opposition to the project. Now they worry how it will impact first responder call volumes as well as Little League sports and low-income RV parking currently on the property. Green Oak Ranch stretches 138 acres in South Vista. Right now the county is looking to buy 110 acres for a large mental health facility. It would provide sober housing and psychiatric treatment.
A massive mental health, behavioral health facility in the middle of a residential area, even if it's not your district, will impact the entire city.
Right now, the property hosts Little League sports and a low-income RV park.
I live on Green Oak Ranch with my husband and our 3 children. We were homeless 8 years ago and staying at Operation Hope.
Karen fears where they will live if the county buys the land.
We find it unthinkable and unacceptable that we all would stand to be practically made homeless, in my family's case, again, in an effort to provide homes for other homeless people.
A Vista firefighter encourages the city of Vista to buy the property.
The Vista Fire Department is in desperate need of a training facility. This land is a perfect location for that. Call volumes up all over the city, and our fire and ambulance resources are already stretched thin.
Tonight, the Vista City Council said it will get the property appraised, but didn't take any further action.
I would ask the Vista City Council listen to its constituents, hear what we are begging you to do, buy the property for the city of Vista to manage, and not let the county take a hold of our backyard.
Jasmine Ramirez, CBS 8.
All right, Jasmine, thank you. Starting on Monday, the DMV will move some services online. It's an effort to make some tasks easier and more efficient. CBS 8's Abby Black is working for you and shows us what we can do digitally to avoid those long lines.
Many people feel the shared pain of going to the DMV, knowing that they have to wait in a very long line. But that time could get quicker now that the DMV is requiring a few more services online.
Now I'm just waiting for my number.
The line at the DMV.
It's the worst.
The DMV is aiming to make the process as painless as possible.
So we've made it faster and easier.
That's something you don't hear often at the DMV.
I believe it saves the DMV time.
Starting June 3rd, the DMV will expand digital services, making 90% of its transactions available online.
If people who can take care of their tasks online go online, then the office runs much more smoothly.
We're working for you to break down what can already be done online, but what tasks will be required digitally or at a kiosk. You can renew registration, renew your driver's license, request copies of vehicle registration and driver's license records, and replace a lost or stolen driver's license or ID card.
Yeah, I do it all the time for registration renewal and that sort of thing.
I asked DMV spokesperson Anita Gore, when do you need to show up at the DMV?
You have to complete the Real ID application in an office. But if you start online, fill out the application, upload your documents, your in-office transaction time is about 8 minutes.
You also will need to go in person for title transfers or anything that can hold you up with owed parking tickets or past due registration. The DMV says since 2019, it has nearly doubled the transactions you can do online, which can reduce 200,000 office visits per month. They say that if you do not have digital access or you're not tech savvy, you can still go in person, but an appointment is encouraged.
We don't want you to wait in the office. We know you don't want to wait in an office. So go ahead, try online, find out how easy it is, and you'll never go back.
The DMV's goal is to eventually do everything from your phone and put DMV wait times in their rear view mirror.
Online would be a lot easier, honestly, and a lot more helpful.
To learn more about the services offered on the DMV's website, go to CBS8.com, click on the Help button. In Claremont, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Like everything else these days, car insurance rates are on the rise. And as CBS 8's Shannon Handy found out, some of those increases may be because your driving habits are being tracked. She's working for you on that and what you can do to cut costs.
Car insurance rates have soared more than 20% over last year. Thankfully, there are ways to save, and that includes opting out of being tracked.
Every day it seems as if the cost of something is going up. Now you can add car insurance rates to that list.
I have to work more to be able to afford that.
I pulled some numbers from the U.S. Department of Labor and found rates are up 20.6% over last year. When compared to 2021, they're up over 50%. In California, Forbes Advisor's analysis revealed drivers pay an average of $2,061 per year for full coverage.
Our latest data says that Californians pay about 20.7% more than the national average.
David Strawn is the senior automotive journalist for consumer site Market Watch Guides. I asked him what's contributing to the hike in rates. He says it's linked to various factors. Among them, cars are more expensive. That includes for repairs on those that have advanced technology and intricate parts.
If you get a dent in a door on like a bottom panel or something like that, that might require replacing a lot more than just that one part, whereas maybe 20 years ago that wasn't the case.
Other experts have reported people's rates going up based on their driving habits being tracked and then sold to insurance companies through internet-connected vehicles.
You might not even know that it's happening, so it's definitely something to check on. In some cases, by reporting good driving behavior, you can actually get a lower rate. And so that's why people opt in. But in other cases, if it's reported that you have erratic driving behavior, you're driving a lot late at night, that can actually increase your rates.
Kimberly Palmer is a personal finance expert with NerdWallet. I reached out to her seeking advice. She told me people should check with their car manufacturer to see if their vehicle has tracking capabilities. If it does and you're not comfortable being tracked, make sure you've opted out. We have more information on how to do so at CBS8.com. Finally, to save more on car insurance, consider upping your deductible, combining policies, and make sure you're consistently shopping around.
So a lot of people make the mistake of just letting their car insurance auto renew every year or every 6 months. But instead, you want to take a minute to compare prices. So you don't want to just be passive and let your insurance auto renew. That's when people start to overpay.
Working for you, I'm Shannon Handy for CBS 8.
Such a good point. Shop around. Thanks, Shannon. Still ahead, a potential break for drivers in Chula Vista. When we return, we'll show you what's being done to get rid of the only toll road in our area. And later on, an El Cajon man went out to buy a grill and came home without his wallet. We're working for you to find this mystery hero who showed up on a doorstep. And don't forget, we want to look into issues affecting you and your community. Email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com. We'll be right back.
Make it more efficient for those who live here to get on the freeway to get access to 805 and other places.
Tonight, we're looking at the possibility of drivers using the 125 toll road for free. Sandag voted to move forward with a study looking at eliminating tolls on the South Bay thoroughfare. CBS 8's Shannon Handy is working for you and shows what will happen next and when we could see a change on the 125.
The 125 is the only toll road in San Diego County. Supporters say allowing people to use it for free will reduce congestion and improve equity in the region.
I think it's a great idea.
Chris Fenton lives adjacent to the 125, but says he and his neighbors rarely use it because they don't want to pay a toll.
Yeah, so we go that way and take the back route through the neighborhood and save the toll, because it's, why pay a toll to go 2 miles?
Drivers can spend up to $4.50 depending on how they pay and how far they travel.
Select payment method.
Our toll today costs $2 going one way, but paying those tolls could be eliminated altogether.
I'm not a fan of toll roads.
At Friday's Sandag meeting, the board voted to proceed with a study that will produce a detailed timeline and cost assessment associated with dropping tolls along the 125. In a statement, Sandag Chair and County Supervisor Nora Vargas said in part, unlike other regions, South County residents are left without a free alternative, making the transportation system unfair and burdensome for some residents. That's why we took action today to expedite the process. Chula Vista Mayor John McCann supports the move, saying it's something he's advocated for years.
And the idea that we're the only city having a toll road is not the best thing. We want to make sure that we have a freeway just like every other city.
The potential change won't happen overnight, and it's not cheap. The approved study will cost $600,000 and take a year to complete. After that, another $2 million may be needed to pay for an environmental impact report. Then the road would have to be evaluated for repairs and upgrades. Supervisor Joel Anderson, who sits on the Sandag board, expressed concern, saying that money could be used to address State Route 67, the only escape route for hundreds of thousands of East County residents during wildfires.
I have grave concerns spending $600,000 on equity analysis when we're not spending any money to look at the economic cost of lives being lost.
At this point, it's unclear when we could see tolls drop. Sandag acquired the 10-mile expressway through a lease with Caltrans in 2011 and still needs revenue to pay off that debt. What we do know is the longer Sandag waits to eliminate the toll, the more revenue they can collect. Mayor McCann hopes the 125 will be free within the next 4 years.
We have already refinanced the bonds, and we had set and got Sandag's approval a couple years ago to make sure that the road was paid off in 2028.
Shannon Handy, CBS 8.
Shannon, thank you. Coming up next, an El Cajon man thought his wallet was gone forever. Now he wants to know who this man is, who showed up at his doorstep. These days, you never know who's going to show up at your door, but thanks to a Ring doorbell, this man was caught on video. Now, as CBS 8's Steve Price reports, The search is on to find him, all because of a good deed.
Take a close look. Do you recognize this stranger who showed up Friday at Michael Finner's house in El Cajon?
Never expected that to happen.
Michael would like to find him to say thank you. This story actually starts here in this parking lot. Michael came to the Lowe's to buy a grill for his wife's birthday party. When he got back to his truck, a guy came up to him selling strawberries and he bought some. Michael put his wallet on the hood of his vehicle. He then loaded everything into his truck, forgot about the wallet, and drove away. Michael headed east on the 52, got off at Cuyamaca, and went straight to his house, where he quickly realized his wallet was missing. So he went back to Lowe's.
Asked their lost and found, and nobody had turned in a wallet.
Michael headed back home, fearing the worst.
I had all my identification, my bank cards, and then it would have been a mess for months.
On a hunch, Michael stopped at the Cuyamaca off-ramp and started looking for his wallet. And that's when he spotted 3 of his cards, including his Costco membership. He thought someone threw the cards out the window since they weren't worth money.
But then I walked 50 more feet and I found a $5 bill. A little further up, found a $20 bill. So I thought, well, it must have just fallen off the truck.
Michael spent another 30 minutes here looking for his wallet with no luck. But what he didn't realize is that this guy had already found his wallet and drove it to his house to return it.
To bring it to the house, that's extraordinary.
But with Michael out looking for his wallet, he wasn't there to answer the door. So the stranger flagged down a neighbor.
And this guy asked her, hey, are you pretty tight with your neighbor? And she was like, well, I'm having dinner over there tonight. She was like, and the guy said, okay, well, what's his name? She goes, Mike. And he goes, that's the guy. Hey, can you give him this wallet?
The neighbor didn't get the man's name, so Mike has no idea who he is. But if he's watching, Mike would like to say thank you and invite you over for a barbecue on the new grill. In El Cajon, Steve Price, CBS 8.
What a great story, and it doesn't end there. Since that story first aired, some viewers recognize that Good Samaritan, this guy. We've been in contact with his daughter, who says her dad did not want to go on camera, and he's just happy to help. She also tells us he does things like this all the time. Isn't that great? Time now for Working for Your Wallet. Home sales are at a 30-year low. That's according to the National Association of Realtors. One factor is the low inventory pushes prices higher. In April, the median home sale price in the U.S. was $407,600. That's 5.7% higher than a year ago. Of course, here in San Diego, it's much higher. The median price for a single-family home was a little over $1 million in April. That's according to the California Association of Realtors. Interest rates are also still around 7%, but some buyers plan to refinance when rates go down.
There is some cost involved, but it is not an astronomical cost to refinance downward.
Now, some experts predict more homes will come on the market in the fall and winter as homeowners look to finally sell. All right, that's going to do it for us. Remember, if there's something you'd like for us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.